no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste. So you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life. You better do the damn thing right.
Welcome back to the ShoeBenderPod, guys. I'm so glad to have you guys back. Man, what a great weekend it has been for sports. For some of you, especially you Raiders fans, y'all ain't too happy right now. We'll definitely get into that here in a bit. But definitely hope every single one of you guys have had a great week and a great weekend. And if you didn't, don't worry. Today's Monday. It's the start of a whole new week. That's why I personally love Mondays, because you literally just get to start all over again. Like whatever happened last week does not matter no more. It's a whole new week and it's a whole new perspective on everything, and you could just literally restart. Yes, I understand there's some positions or some jobs that, or you might be going through something in your life that obviously you can't just start over again every week. Because life happens, and it gets really tough, guys. Let's be real. So that's why you got to be, that's why, at least personally, that's why I'm always nice to everybody that I see, whether they're nice to me or not. Who knows? Somebody could have pissed them off and I could have been the first person they talked to, and guess what? I'm the one that got the wrath. It happens. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Everybody's going through something, and that's what we have our support system for. And if you don't have a support system, you got one here. You got one right here. Everybody that's part of this community, that's what we about. That's all what we about. And sports, obviously. But that's mainly what we about. We definitely about our mentals first before anything in this world. It's always about, first of all, Jesus Christ and then our mentals. Because we always need to be mentally ready for, honestly, everything. Because, like I said, every day is a new day. And not everything's the same. Sometimes you do get thrown a curveball in life, and we have to adjust. The good thing about humans is that we're very good at adapting and adjusting. But like I said, I hope every single one of you guys had a great weekend and a great week, and it's the start of a new week. So let's get after it, guys. Today, the biggest news in the NFL world, the New Orleans Saints got their quarterback in Derek Carr, who was with the Raiders for his whole career. Obviously it didn't work out for them over there, and they obviously didn't want to keep going the route with him. Me personally, I like Derek Carr. I really do. I've liked him even since Fresno State. I just think he's good I think he's a good enough quarterback to get it done. Obviously he's had some injuries happen throughout his career that have stopped the momentum from good seasons that he has been having. I personally think that he had what it takes, or what it took to get the Raiders over that hump. But obviously, you're in a whole new city, and this city is expecting results right now. It's like when the Rams and the Chargers moved to LA. The NFL didn't want them to be like, oh, we'll give you a couple of years to be good. Now we want you both good right now. Like right off the bat, we need you guys being good. And Las Vegas is pretty much another one of those markets. I mean, you could just imagine the kind of money that's getting gambled in those Raiders games, in those suites, even in the bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very, you got to win now if you're going to be the Las Vegas quarterback for the Raiders. And obviously the Raiders, just they ran out of it. They ran out of juice with Derek Carr, and it was just time to start new. Obviously the rumor is that Aaron Rodgers is supposed to go and, reunite with Devontae Adams down there. But right now, Segun, even that I seen that I got a ESPN alert saying that the biggest obstacle right now with moving Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders or to whatever team is obviously the $50 million cap space that comes with him. And they're trying to negotiate with the Packers to try to take at least some of that, so they're not stuck paying the whole $50 million. Which, if you're not a Raiders fan, which is fine if you're not, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to inform all you guys that just want to know what's going on in the sports world. So that way, if you hear a conversation going on with your coworkers, you could at least have something to, bring to the table, or at least know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you're just not there in the dark. But definitely, that's definitely what I do it for. And the Raiders, they're definitely gonna, obviously, and when it comes to this draft, they're gonna they're definitely probably gonna go defensively and offensive line wise, because Josh Jacobs also just got tagged, so he's gonna be getting paid like $10 million a year. If they whether they want to redo his contract or not. Me personally, with the season they had last year, I feel like there's no way you do not pay this guy. But I do understand the issue with the Raiders, which is the main reason why they had to let go of Derek Carr, was their salary cap. They have no salary cap, like literally like no space whatsoever to sign these long-term contracts. And that's one of the main factors also too that they let Derek Carr go. It wasn't because he wasn't good enough, because Derek Carr is good, man. He really is good. And last year was, last year, or should I say last season, was his first year with Devontae again. Jacobs was doing great, but that defense was also very up. They were, like I said, I've talked about the Raiders all season, and they were in a lot of games. They were right there, right at the very end. They just couldn't close. The Raiders could have easily been a playoff team. It's just a lot of those games the ball didn't roll their way, and that's the way it goes sometimes, guys. And that's what really bit them in the ass this year, is just that they couldn't close games, or something crazy would happen for the other team. That's just how it went for them this year. And they also were getting hit by the injury bug too. But that's mainly the main reason why they didn't sign Derek Carr, is because they just didn't have the money. Not only salary cap wise, but just like literally wise. Like the Raiders don't have that money yet. Al Davis had money, but his son don't have that kind of money, bro. So that's another issue right now too that the NFL is looking at, because I don't think that Davis is gonna end up being the owner. I think they're gonna end up getting bought out. There's a lot of movement going on in the NFL. I watch the Pat McAfee show literally religiously, and they talk about it all the time, that the NFL wants to get these big time owners in there, so that way they don't have to worry about money. That's their biggest thing, is that they want to get owners in there that don't have to worry about money. That's the reason why the Walmart family, they bought the Denver Broncos. The people that owned Walmart, all the stores, the franchise, whatever, they own the Denver Broncos as well. So obviously these people got money. There was also articles seen the other day that Jeff Bezos is now, before he wasn't in the bidding for it, or he wasn't even thinking about it. But now they're saying that he's starting to get interest in buying the Seattle Seahawks, who don't really have an owner. The ownership kind of just got passed down to Paul Allen's, the late great Paul Allen's sister, and she's pretty much making the calls right now. But yeah, there's obviously a lot of movement, and I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if the NFL made Davis sell the Raiders to a different owner that has the Fedia, that could say, look, I have the money right here with me right now, and I could spend this. I'll spend whatever it takes to get a Super Bowl. Because you gotta understand, billionaires are competitive too, man. I wouldn't want to say competitive. I think they're superly ego driven, and none of them want to be bad at anything. So there's that too. Sticking to quarterback news, my Seattle Seahawks also did re-sign Geno Smith. Congratulations, Geno. 3 years, $105 million. I was also seeing the article saying that he's gonna get paid 53 or 51 of that guaranteed this year. So they're pretty much getting that. They have the salary cap for it, so they're pretty much saying like, hey, we're gonna get this big chunk of money out the way right now, so that way the next 2 years, we could use them on players, re-signings, or players to get to come play for us. Me personally, like, even though I am happy for Geno that he got that deal, I really wanted us to get a quarterback this NFL draft. Just so that way you could legit have your good quarterback on a rookie deal, and then you could just literally splurge all that money on free agency, on pass rushers, which we really need, a center, which we obviously need, which we'll probably draft now that we got the quarterback out the way. We're probably going to draft a center, or definitely for sure pass rusher / linebacker. First, Nolan Smith, obviously, if he falls to our lap, we're going to take him. Obviously Carter, the kid from Georgia, who right now kind of is really ruining his NFL career before he even starts. He's going to be on the board, but who knows if he's going to be in the first round now. He's probably going to drop to like the 5th or 6th. I wouldn't be surprised because nobody knows if this kid's even going to be able to play or not. If you don't know about that story, you should go ahead and check it out on the internet. Georgia defensive player Carter, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not a good story. It's a sad story, man. I mean, you got a kid that's about to make millions of dollars, and because one horrible mistake, that's all in the balance now. It's all out of his hands now. Now his future isn't a, hey, you're gonna be playing for this team. It's a, hey, we hope a team picks you up type thing, you know. So you got that going on. But I definitely wanted the Seahawks to draft a quarterback. If it was up to me, I would definitely either draft Bennett or Bennett's my number one option. I want Stephen Bennett from Georgia. Give me the proven winner. Give me the back-to-back national champion. That's who I want. I want the guy that's been through it all, because he has been. He went from JUCO to Georgia to backing up at Georgia to being the starter at Georgia to winning back-to-back championships. This kid obviously has a huge chip on his shoulder. He's gonna fall in the draft as well because of that DUI that he got while he was celebrating as well. And like I said, to me, what separates him from all the other guys is that he's 25 years old. So in essence, you're not really getting like a teenager. You're getting a young adult. Like you're getting a good mature adult. Besides the whole DUI part, of course, that's not mature at all. But adults make mistakes too. Obviously, his wasn't as bad as Carter's. I mean, like I said, that's super unfortunate. One guy gets scot-free and gets to go home, while one guy has to go pretty much turn himself in the next day. I mean, it's a horrible situation. But anyways, I definitely would want Bennett. Out of all the quarterbacks that are in the draft right now, I'd want Bennett. And then after that, I would want Stroud. I would want either one of those two guys. If we get C.J. Stroud or Stetson Bennett, I feel like we'll be okay. Obviously, we're probably not going to get Stroud because he's definitely a top 5 quarterback. And obviously, since we just re-signed Geno, I doubt we're going to spend another, $15 million for a guy to just sit on the bench. I doubt that's going to happen. There's rumors going around that I guess the quarterback for Florida, the one I was telling you about, that just looks like a crazy athlete and everybody's drooling over. I guess he had a great interview with Pete Carroll. Which is cool, man, but I just really hope we don't go that route. From what I've seen on film, like live, like watching these games, AR, he wasn't the best prospect out of all the quarterbacks that I'm talking about right now. But I'm not the GM, I'm not Snyder, but I do trust John Snyder. He's a great drafter, he's a great GM, probably the best GM in all NFL. I'm not saying that just because I'm biased. I truly do believe that. I really do feel like he's a great GM and he drafts very well. But you never know. But those are the quarterbacks I definitely would want. I definitely would want those guys. But the NFL Combine is just picking up. You got all these. You got some of these players that nobody's even heard of that are making a huge stamp. You got defensive linemen running 4.6s, 4.5s, offensive linemen. I mean, the athleticism that's coming out of these kids nowadays is just unreal. And I honestly, whatever programs they're in and all those kind of things, like, man, big round of applause to all you guys, because these kids, man, they are uber extremely athletic nowadays. And it's really awesome to see, honestly, because you do know it's just going to get better. The recovery is going to get better. The nutrition is going to get better. The games are gonna get safer. So I mean, it's great for everybody. Everybody's a winner and things like this. Um, Let me see what else is going on here, guys. For you guys, sticking with the. Let me see here. Moving on to the Chiefs, they're expected to release Frank Clark, which obviously that's not a move that it's not because they don't want him. It's obviously because he's asking for too much and they could not afford him right now. Um, I was seeing that on the Pat McAfee show again today too, that they were calling today a Massacre Monday because usually this is when guys get cut or traded, stuff like that. Obviously, Frank Clark is a massive pass rusher for the Chiefs. If you're a Chiefs fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a Seahawks fan, and we're the ones that drafted this guy, so I know how great of a pass rusher Frank Clark is, and that's gonna really hurt the Chiefs next year. But honestly, to tell you the honest truth, I think the reason why they were so cool and so fine with letting Frank Clark go, because you also got the Kalafkis guy, that rookie last year. And I mean, he was tearing shit up, bro. Like, he really was. And, obviously he's younger, he's cheaper. Let's stay with this guy. You're older, you're wanting way more money. We're going to have to let you go. I said it's not a personal thing, this kind of move right here, cutting Frank Clark, because they did try to negotiate. They just couldn't come up with the right number because obviously he was asking for too much. Is he worth it? Hell yeah, he's worth it. But, you also, like I was saying, you also got Kalafkis, who you just drafted last year and had a great rookie season. And to me personally, I feel like that's another green light as to why they were okay with letting him go. But I know for sure they didn't want to let him go. They just had to let him go because they don't got the Fedia right now. That cap space is looking real tight for the Chiefs. And speaking of that too, speaking of the cap space, they also are not placing the franchise tag on their left tackle, Orlando Brown, who's a great left tackle, one of the probably top 5 left tackles in the NFL. I've liked watching this kid play. I watched him even in college. Great kid to watch play. I watch everything when I'm watching football. I watch the offensive line. I watch the pass rush. I watch everything. So there's certain times where I'll just be like, okay, it's down in distance. Okay, now we have to watch this matchup because this is what it's gonna come down to. And so there's sometimes I'm not even watching the play. I'm just watching a certain matchup. Like, all right, can this receiver get off this DB, or can this DB lock this receiver down? Obviously in the defensive line and offensive line, it's fun to watch because it's just right there. Bam, you can see right away who's gonna win or not. So he's not expected to get the franchise tag, which obviously means they chose to keep him over Frank Clark. Obviously, you got to protect your MVP quarterback. And so he's probably going to get a massive deal here pretty soon. I would not be surprised if we see that in the next couple of days. The Calvin Ridley, who was suspended for gambling, has finally been fully reinstated. So now he could start practicing. A lot of people that don't know Calvin Ridley, because obviously he's been MIA. This kid's a really good receiver, man. He's going to the Jaguars, who were in the playoffs last year. Were probably literally one receiver away from giving, was it the Chiefs who they faced, problems, because that was their biggest issue. They just couldn't get a receiver open. Kirk was the only one making big plays, and there was literally nobody else getting open. Well, now you got Ridley, who is a Bama product, who I've watched, who was a Heisman actually vote getter. He obviously didn't win it, but Ridley he's a bad dude, bro. Ridley's a really good crisp route runner. He's got the hands. Just another great Alabama receiver because it was what, Julio, probably Ridley, right? Oh no, yeah, it was Julio, Cooper, and then this guy, and then Ridley. And then came all the other guys. But Ridley was one of those Bama receivers. He was that dude. And he was that dude for Matt Ryan too, that year that I believe that they went to the Super Bowl. I believe. I'm not sure though. I don't remember. Here, let me check. I'll double check for you guys real quick. But I'm pretty sure it was really close. I'm almost positive he was with that Falcons with that Falcons team. Let me see here. Oh no, he started in 2020. So yeah, hell no, he wasn't on that team. But regardless, Calvin really, I mean, he's only been on the field for 1 full year. I mean, he's that dude, man. So, dude, if you're a fantasy guy, you play a lot of fantasy football, definitely keep your eyes out on him, especially for next year. Now that you got Kirk on the other side, and who knows what they're gonna do with free agency, he's gonna be a problem. I was also reading too that Pollard, the running back for the Cowboys, is gonna get franchise tagged as well. They're obviously not gonna let him go with the season they had last year. He's probably going to be their number one this year from what it sounds like, because it sounds like they're trying to get rid of Zeke. Will they find a trade partner? I honestly think they will. Who's not going to want Ezekiel Elliott? I mean, one of the best running backs in the NFL. Is he the best running back in the NFL? Probably not, but he's definitely top 10 still. Low top 10, but he's still top 10, man. He can still run your ass over. He can still catch the ball. But he's definitely not the Zeke from that he was a couple years ago, which is expected from every running back. Everybody knows a running back in the NFL, their shelf life is this is not what I'm saying. This is what every NFL player says, analysts, coaches, they all say it. The NFL running backs, like their expectancy of working as a running back in the NFL is literally only 6 years. Max. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, it's all downhill. Like, everybody knows you're going to go downhill. So we'll see what happens in Dallas. The Titans released Bud Dupree after 2 seasons. That's another cap space move. I was also reading somewhere that they're thinking about, or I think they either are, or they're thinking about trading Derrick Henry. So there's obviously a rebuild going on in Tennessee, which I think is pretty crazy. I think out of all the pieces you want to keep would be Derrick Henry to build around him, but who knows, man? We'll see what's going on there. I guess the same thing with Ryan Tannehill. Everything's up in there with him too. So I mean, things are going to get real spicy here soon in the NFL, because the offseason is really going to pick up. Like I said, people are going to be getting cut. And there's going to be trades going on, and there's going to be guys getting picked up. There's going to be guys going to new homes. So it's going to be a real fun time in the NFL here soon. Here's another one that I'm seeing that's a massive one. The Vikings release veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks, which is massive for that defense, like huge. Because Kendricks ain't no joke. Like, he's a really good linebacker. I'd put him up there with Wagner and Warner. Is it Warner? Frank Warner? From the Niners, man. Like, I really think he's that good. Like, I do like Eric Kendricks. I watched a lot of Vikings games last year too, and they're really, really good. Speaking of that, the Sunday Ticket's going to be on YouTube TV next year, which is going to be so badass. Do not have to deal with DirecTV anymore. I'm just so excited for that. I'm so excited for that. You guys have no idea how excited I am for the YouTube TV to finally have the Sunday Ticket now. But now, and also too, the Rams, who we were talking about in this last podcast, they gave Allen Roberts a permission to seek a trade after literally signing him. I think it was last year, and they're already telling him like, nah, it's all good. Like, we're good on you. So they're obviously they gotta get draft picks, dude. That's the Rams' biggest issue, is that right now, like, obviously they already talked about it, but everybody already forgot about it. But Ramsey, they're looking to trade Ramsey, and they're going to get some first-round picks for Ramsey. So don't be surprised if here soon you get a notification saying that Ramsey got traded. Because, and this is what really makes me laugh about the Rams, because I knew for a fact these motherfuckers were going to have to eat their words. I knew it. I knew they were going to have to eat that bowl. I knew they were going to have to eat it. Because and I laughed every single time when, obviously when they won the Super Bowl, and that GM just kept throwing everybody's faces saying fuck them picks. And now all of a sudden it's like nah, we need them picks. And so that's why I really hope nobody trades with the Rams. I hope nobody trades with them. I hope everybody literally says, hey, how you doing? Fuck them picks, and just hangs up on their GM. Straight up, bro. Straight up. Make him eat that shit, bro. He wanted to sit there and brag and pound on his chest that, he's such a badass that he got it done. Okay, well, see, what everybody was talking about that was going to happen, it's happening now. And now it's not so fun no more. Just because you guys literally got your ass beat last year, didn't make the playoffs, and now you literally had to blow up your whole team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just horrible. This is why, if you're an NFL GM, don't do what the Rams did. Don't do it. No, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You have Sutton, the receiver for the Broncos, who's also silently in trade talks. That to me is crazy because I believe he is their best receiver. You plan on letting him go, dog? Like, that's wild. The Giants, they plan on franchise tagging DJ Daniel Jones if no long-term deal is reached by Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So it probably is gonna get franchise tagged, unless they make a deal while everybody's sleeping, which they probably will, because so that way they could be in the news in the morning. But from what it sounds like he's looking for some, like, in the north of 46, 45. See, and this is the shit right here too, guys. Let's be real. Let's be honest, guys. Man, Daniel Jones, ain't nobody giving you 45, dog. Let's be real, bro. They give you $45, $4,500. They ain't giving you no $45 million, dog. Let's be real, bro. I like Daniel Jones. I have nothing against this guy, man. I think he's good. He's the perfect quarterback for the New York Giants, bro. If you look at their tier quarterbacks, their main tier quarterback is Eli Manning. Eli Manning, you look just like DJ, bro. Y'all tall, lanky, look goofy as hell, looking like you guys have no athleticism, but yet still do. You guys know what I'm talking about. He has, and it's just you haven't been to no NFC Championship game. You haven't made an appearance in the Super Bowl, and yet you're demanding $45 million. The only reason why I feel like you're demanding $45 million is because you live in New York, and everybody that knows New York's gonna take half of that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, congratulations on your $45 million a year. Guess what? It's only 20 now. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason why I could see him asking for that from the Giants. Because from anybody other team, he's probably asking for more like 34, 32. Because if not, that's literally what the teams are going to give him. I'm pretty sure that's what the Giants are trying to give him, 32, 30 mil a year. Because they obviously want to re-sign Saquon Barkley because he's up too. So it's like, if you have to sign both, you can't sign both to max deals. So you're going to have to choose who you're going to sign a max deal, and whoever you sign in the max deal, the other guys aren't like him, probably leave. That's the way it goes. Just like Devontae did Aaron Rodgers when the Packers signed Rodgers last year in the offseason. He's all right, then I'm out. And he did. We were just talking about him a couple of minutes ago. Frank Clark, he did the exact same shit. I believe when they gave Mill that last deal that he got with the Seahawks, that 3-year deal, Frank Clark was a free agent that year, and as soon as he seen that news drop, he dipped. That's when he got traded. He got traded that same day to the Chiefs. So yeah, it's gonna happen. So whoever they re-sign, they got to be with the next player, or with the player that they sign with, that the next player is gonna bounce. Obviously, you're gonna want to take the quarterback because they last longer. But Saquon Barkley was also showing that he was Saquon Barkley again last year, which we hadn't seen in a while due to injuries, of course. But then he bounces back and has a great season, and it's like, that's the Barkley that we know, and gets the Giants into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. Me personally, I'm not paying him no 40 plus, dog. Straight up, bro. And it's not even a disrespect thing. It's just like come on, bro. No NFC Championship game, no Super Bowl appearance. Never been an MVP. Not even been close to being an MVP. This year was your best year. So out of all the years that we've had you here, this was your best year. OV is gonna be your best year when it's your contract year. But to me, it's like, I need no more consistency than that. I'm not gonna reward you off doing something great one time. That's not the way I roll. So you got that going on. And that's pretty much that's been going on in the NFL world. We'll switch over to the NBA world, man, which we got the West and the massive, crazy freaking playoff push in the West, man. You got what, 3 teams that have the same record, and then you got the other 3 teams that are like teeter-totting. They're like right there as well. I mean, these guys, the Lakers, the Blazers, they're right outside the play-in, but they're not that far outside of the play-in. They're almost matched up. They almost have the all identical records as Utah and the Pelicans. The Clippers, they're on a free fall still. The Dallas Mavericks haven't been looking too good ever since they got Kyrie either way. The Clippers, obviously, they barely got their first win a couple days ago, with Westbrook finally being there. Yeah, the Nuggets and the Mavericks going at it this weekend. That was really fun to watch. I really hope they match up in the playoffs. I would really love to see KD and Kyrie go at it, and then Luka and Booker go at it. I don't know why the hell it took me so long to say that, but Luka and Booker go at it. The odd man out though is CP3 in this matchup, and honestly, man, if I'm being for real, and I'm just being 100% honest with you guys, man, but CP3 has not been the same. He has not been the same ever since Kanye said that shit about him and Kim, dog. Like, straight up, bro. I don't care what anybody says, dog. CP3 has not been the same ever since Kanye said that shit about him and Kim, dog. Like, he has not. And I feel like that's going to be the main downfall for the Suns this year, is going to be CP3. I just feel like this year, I don't think he was, first of all, expecting that to come out at all. Obviously, there was some truth behind it because he legit has been I'm not joking with you guys, man. He legit has not been playing like the point guard. He has been playing like a point guard. Like, he has not been CP3, dog. He's been, what they say that I've been seeing those memes. He's been Cliff Paul. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a big alarming issue that I'm seeing, is that, yeah, I'm seeing KD and Booker get their offense and get their buckets, but I'm not really seeing CP3 getting anything or really even pushing for anything. But like I said, with him, I think it's a lot more with what's going on off the court, or has been going off the court, than what's going on in it right now. Denver still leads. They're still the number 1 seed, which will probably finish that out because they're pretty much 7 games ahead of the. Man, this team, who I feel like is going to go in a big-ass free fall in all the wrong ways, is the Memphis Grizzlies, who are the 2nd seed right now. But if you've been keeping up with the news, you've been, man, damn, just some clown shit, going on with the Memphis Grizzlies, man. First, you're already the most hated team in the NFL. Nobody fucking likes you guys. Literally nobody. Every fan base literally hates you guys, and all for the wrong reasons. It's not like the Golden State Warriors or, LeBron James, where they hate you because you're so damn good and you're always winning and, you're the standard. They legit hate you because you think you're the standard and you're trying to act like you're the standard and you haven't won shit. That's why everybody hates them. But either way, like, literally the Memphis Grizzlies have been in the news, in the sports news, for all the wrong reasons this year. Every single wrong season. It has never been a good reason as to why the Memphis Grizzlies are on the news this year. Obviously, the biggest news circling around right now about the Memphis Grizzlies is Ja Morant, or how Twitter is calling him Ja Warrant. Dude, when I heard Ja Warrant, bro, I started dying, bro. Like, Warrant. Bro, I was dying. I literally dropped my phone. I was laughing so hard. I was, man, you really don't want to mess with the internet, man. The internet is straight undefeated. You know how they say 5 times undefeated? Nah, man. The internet, my goodness, bro. Se pasan de verga on the internet. For real, dog. Like, it is hilarious on there. If it's not happening to you. If it's happening to you, then it's probably not as funny. But, you got Ja Warrant over here getting busted for he posted a clip on his IG live. Obviously he was at a strip club. You could tell he was turned. And he's in there with a gun next to his head, bro. This fool has a Thule right next to his head. He has a cuete right here, bro, in the club. First of all, anybody that's been in a strip club, damn well ain't no one allowed in there with firearm. Nobody. So that already is a big no. So now the club's gonna be getting investigated because it's like, how in the hell did this guy get in here with a gun? So that's already a whole nother situation that literally doesn't even involve you anymore. It literally involves the club now. Like, now everybody's talking to the club owner, like, how did this guy get in your club with a gun? Which is a huge issue. Obviously, we all know what's gonna happen. He's just gonna get a slap on the wrist. All he has to do, which you pretty much already said, is say that he's stressed now, blame it on mental health, just like every athlete does, or every person does nowadays. Because once everybody hears that mental health part, everybody literally falls back like, whoa, like, yo, I ain't touching that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not saying that he isn't going through so, but let's be real, dog. Let's be real. This fool was at a strip club with a gun, smiling. You really think he's stressed out, dog? Like, let's be real, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, we know what's up. Y'all don't need to try to fugaze us, bro. Like, we know how Ja Morant's lifestyle is, dog. Trust me. We know that fool ain't stressed out. The only thing he probably is stressed out about is how his team's free falling. That for sure, I believe him. That got some stressed out. But definitely, man. Obviously, he's really starting to see the repercussions of his actions. I mean, you got Nike making statements. You got the Memphis Grizzlies making statements. You got his teammates holding players-only meetings right now, trying to get the Grizzlies to have a harsher punishment on him. So that alone's already not looking good. If your teammates are coming together saying like, "Yo, like, we need to punish this fool. Like, we can't just slap this fool on the wrist." So obviously, there's a glaring issue already going on that's not getting talked about. I mean, it's just horrible. It just sucks to see because, obviously Ja Morant's hella fucking good. I mean, he literally just got his own signature shoe. His team's literally fighting for the number 1 seed in the NBA. And I mean, this is Memphis. Like, Memphis, dog. Like, this ain't no big ass city. Like, this is Memphis. Like, it's a small city. So, anything that, anytime you get a great light to get put on it, especially a great team, like your team to start doing good, that's very good, not just for you, but for the whole city. And then you go up and pull off some stuff like this to try to be cool, man. To try to show like, hey, I got it on me, or hey, I'm never lacking. That's cool, bro. That's cool. That's fine if you're not, bro. But you gotta understand the situation. You're not a rapper. If you're a rapper, nobody gives a shit. That's normal rapper shit. Like, all right, that's fine, whatever. That's so and so. That's just them. But you a professional basketball player, bro. There's certain levels to this shit. This hood shit. That shit don't fly in the NBA, bro. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business. It's just like any other business. You can't be rocking your business shirt that you, a business that you work for. You can't be walking into like a dispensary being like, yo, yeah, let me get this while wearing your shit. No company likes that. No company. Literally, you could ask anybody, any owner that. Ain't no owner want to be seeing their employees getting sloshed wearing their company gear out in public. Nobody likes that, bro. Obviously with Ja, he wasn't wearing no Memphis shit, but everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows what you're affiliated to. Everybody messes up, dude. I've said it in this podcast plenty of times. We all mess up, man. It's a part of life. That's what it is. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna be successful as well. You're gonna do great things. You're gonna do bad things. It happens in life. It's all about intentions, though. To me, that's the way I see it. I base it off your intentions. Were you intentionally trying to do something bad? Or were you intentionally trying to do something good? You know what I'm saying? What are your intentions? I've said it before, man. There's a person that that could be working their ass off every single fucking day, but not have any money to come home to, not any money to eat. But they're busting their ass every day, so they have to steal. They have to steal something just to eat. Not because they want to, it's because they have to, or else they're literally gonna die. And then you got people that are well off, that don't need anything. And you got them still stealing shit. They're still stealing stuff just because they don't want to pay for it, even though they got all the money in the world. See what I mean? Like, it's intentions with me. Even though I know you shouldn't steal, I'm not saying that, hey, just because you're gonna die or whatever, you should steal. Like, let's not get crazy or anything. You know, let's try to handle everything the right way at all times. But like I said, it comes down to me intentions. And with him posting that video, that was all bad intentions. That video was not posted with good intentions. That video was posted to be like, hey, look what I got type shit. And that's not cool. That's not cool. And then now you got the NBA. I mean, because, bro, I'm telling you, man, the internet, man, they got some investigators, bro. Like some high-level investigators that ain't even working for the country that know this shit. I mean, when all that came out with him about the club, literally that same day I started seeing 1 or 2 clips of Ja when he was celebrating on the baseline, and he's literally just acting like he's shooting at somebody, bro. And it's like, dude, I would have never known that he was doing that on the sideline, but somebody saw that. And I seen clips that it wasn't just one time in one game, it was like in multiple games. It was in different games that I seen him doing that shit. And it's like, dude, this whole just situation is not looking. It's just getting worse and worse and worse for Ja Morant. Like literally, bro. Like it's just getting worse and worse for him. And I totally agree with everybody that on ESPN. Everybody, you know, and even former athletes, you know, they all say it, man. They're just like, yo, whoever's around him, you know, they really need to sit his ass down and chill him out. And if you are his boy, if you are his brother, whatever, he's like, you should be protecting him at all costs. You should not be allowing him to do shit like this. And I agree. I totally agree. I feel like I don't feel like you should be allowing stuff like this. Because if it's your boy, I mean, even if it was one of my boys, if I know you're in the wrong, I'm not gonna side with you, bro. I'm gonna still be right by you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna agree with what you're saying or doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way things go. Like just because I don't agree with you, doesn't mean I'm gonna stand there and be supporting you. Like nah, if I don't agree with you, if I don't like what you did, I'm gonna fall back. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't believe in that whole, oh well, you did something very bad, but since I'm your boy, I'm gonna stand right by you. Like nah, bro. If you did something really bad, I'm gonna let you know what the hell were you thinking, dog. Like, what were you thinking? What's up? Like, talk to me. Like, I don't want to make things worse than they already are. I'm not trying to push you into the ground further than you already are. Because that's another thing, too, as humans. Someone could be doing something, you know, someone could have done something really bad, and instead of being there for them, talking to them and trying to, you know, just trying to be a teammate. You know what I'm saying? We push each other down more. That's the one thing I've never understood. Like, even when I see a kid mess up, man, I see a parent flip out on them. And to me, it's like, damn, dude, have you never not messed up in your life or something? Like, why are you being so harsh? Like, I just handle things. I just handle everything a lot differently, man. I really do. I see things a lot differently than from the world sees it. And that's totally fine with me. I'm totally fine with that. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff that the world does that I do not agree with. And I will not be cool with. And I will not just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not who I am. But definitely, that's the main thing. That if I see someone getting beat down, I'm not going to. Or if I see that they made a huge mistake, I'm not going to beat you down even more, man. You already feel terrible. You already let everybody down. And then you're expecting me to push you down even further? No, that's not me, man. That's not the way I handle things. With Ja, I definitely would not push him down further. But I definitely would have a good talk with him and let him know that every route that he's taking right now is not a good one, and that he needs to really, really needs to start cutting some people off. And honestly, everybody probably already knows who he needs to cut off. They're just not doing it, and he's not doing it. Because of loyalty. Don't get loyalty confused with stupidity, though, guys. Really, really don't, man. Don't get loyalty confused with stupidity, because I see a lot of people doing that too. Oh, well, just because I was so loyal. No. There's a difference between being loyal and there's a difference between being stupid. Do not get those two mixed. Let's not do that. Do not be one of them people. Because trust me, people do not feel sorry for you if you be on that dumb shit. For real. They will not feel bad for you. So I really hope that Ja gets the help and the support that he needs from the people that are around him. Because he's not going to want to go with no one else. He's not going to hear from someone else. But the crazier thing is that in life, at least in some of my experiences, not all of them, but in some of my experiences, I've actually gotten some of the best wisdom from some random ass person that I've never met. Like, damn, like I've never met you. I don't know who you are. But everything you just told me right now really, really inspired me or motivated me. Or you just got to see it in a different way, and it just made sense to you. Everybody else in your family, it could be your girl, it could be your wife, it could be whatever it is that's in your circle that could be telling you all these things that you need to be that you've heard. But sometimes, bro, and it's always the most unexpected person, bro, they will tell you something that you've been hearing, but it just got told in a different way or at the right time. And it just clicks. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that Ja runs into somebody like that. Obviously not at the club, because obviously that's not a place you should be at right now. But definitely, I hope he gets I really, really hope he gets that help that he needs. Moving on to the Eastern Conference, we have Milwaukee still leading, followed by the Boston Celtics and the Sixers. I mean, this is a lot closer. You got these three teams that are literally fighting for this first seed. The Celtics only 2 games behind. The 76ers only 4 games behind. So, I mean, that's a close race for the top 3 seeds. The rest of the seeds, they're not as close. Especially in the play-in, there's probably only like 2 of them that are pretty close, but the rest is pretty set in stone in the East. So you got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shout out Cleveland, Believeland. The Knicks, who have not lost since the All-Star break, are the 5th seed, who I feel like are getting no credit, which is crazy to me because it's the New York Knicks, bro. This is like if the Lakers are balling. Like, that's so crazy to me that the New York Knicks aren't getting talked about. The Bucks aren't getting talked about as much as they should have. 76ers for sure. But I just think that's crazy. Like these, especially like I said, the New York Knicks, like the biggest media capital in the world. Like, you guys ain't hyping them up. Like, I'm not hearing about them. You got the Brooklyn Nets, who round out the top 6, bro. They're still in the playoffs. I mean, Malik Bridges has been balling out too, or Mikal Bridges has been balling out, bro. Ever since he went to the Nets, now that he's a starter, he's been doing really, really good. And then you got the Heat, the Hawks, Raptors, and the Wizards all on the play-in right now. The Heat look like they got that 7 seed pretty much locked up. They're not that far behind Brooklyn, so they could pretty much flop back and forth. You got Atlanta. You still got Atlanta in the mix, but I don't think they're gonna do anything. Obviously literally for me, I think the top 4 in the NFC in the Eastern Conference Finals, I feel like those two, if these guys get to all match up against each other, that's gonna be some fun games right there. If the Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, and Cavaliers all face off in the second round, that's gonna be badass. That's gonna be a badass second round, bro. Straight up. I really hope they all do. I really, really hope they all do. And of course, I'm gonna be biased and I hope Cleveland wins, cause LBJ. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the NBA world. In the UFC world, we had John Jones win the UFC heavyweight championship over the weekend. Wasn't even close, bro. Didn't even try to stand up again. Right away, took his ass down and submitted him. Made it look so easy, bro. So easy. Which should be scary as shit for everybody else in the heavyweight division. But the biggest news was the co-main event, which was Shevchenko against Grasso, which Viva Mexico, Grasso was able to win, which was awesome. Because I actually called that match. Actually, not like called it, live and shit, but I actually did say that Grasso was gonna win. We were talking about it in my group message with my boys, the homies, with my crew. Um, we were sitting there talking about it, like, hey, who you guys got? We were obviously giving all our predictions. I had Gain winning the heavyweight title, though. I felt like they were gonna try to stand up, and Gain was gonna fucking just crack Jones Gacho bad, but obviously that didn't happen. But with Grasso, I've watched all of Grasso's fights, every single one of them since she first came in the UFC, and I was like, yo, I really like this girl, and I liked her because of her stand up game. She's a great boxer, like a really good boxer, like not just good, like a great boxer. Like she could box, bro. She's got the hands, and she proved it on Saturday that she's got the hands. Like when they were standing up, she was piecing up Shevchenko. She was hitting the body, hitting the face. Like you see Shevchenko's face, like she was fucked up, bro. Like she had a big old gash on her nose, like she was getting mopped up. The only thing that was helping out Shevchenko though is that she took Grasso down like 6 times with like ease. Ease. Just took her down, just like, what's up? But it was the same thing with what happened with what was that guy? With Alex and I don't want to say Islam, because I don't know, for some odd reason his last name's escaping my head right now. But Islam and Alex, it was pretty much the exact same thing. Like, yeah, she was able to get Grasso down to the ground, but she couldn't hold her down. And that was the issue, is that she couldn't hold her down. Like, yeah, she was able to take her down, so obviously those are more points, but the ground control wasn't there. She wasn't able to just do whatever she wanted to Grasso. And at one point, and I believe I think it might have been in the last round. It was either the last round or the 4th round, but Shevchenko went for a spinning heel kick and she missed. Well, when she missed, Grasso jumped on her, like literally, like like a kid does, or like anybody would, like to their older brother, older sister. They just jump on their back because you gave them their back, and they just hold on for dear life. That's basically what Grasso did. She just jumped on Shevchenko's back and just squeezed as hard as she could. And when she did that, they fell down. And when she fell down, she was able to get underneath. I wouldn't even want to say she got underneath it. I just think she just squeezed the fuck out of her. Like, I think she was probably gonna break her fucking chin if Shevchenko didn't tap, because I was seeing a video or a picture on the internet floating around of like after Shevchenko tapped, she's laying down, and like you could literally see the mark where Alex's arms were at, and how red Shevchenko's face was, bro. So that thing was tight. Wherever she had her, she had it tight, bro. Because you could literally see the discoloration from her face to like literally right here. Like it was all white right here, because that's obviously where her arms were at. But everything above right here, like above, was red, dude. Like red. I'm pretty sure you could find it if you look for it. But it was like, gosh damn, like she legit was probably gonna pop her freaking head off if she didn't tap. And obviously a massive upset. For me, it was an upset. I was not surprised. Like I said, I called it out on my group chat. That's good enough for me. I know I didn't have it out on a podcast yet, but that's good enough for me that I have my boys as all witnesses knowing that I did call that fight, and I did say she was gonna win, and she did. The only thing I didn't have her was winning by submission. I did have her winning by decision. But she got it done, man. And obviously we're going to see the rematch. Shevchenko already said it too. She was like, yo, I was beating her ass. She basically just got lucky. So we're going to run it back. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, we got a lot of great fights coming up, guys. We got some boxing fights coming up too here soon that are gonna be really good. But yeah, it was great weekend. Great weekend for the UFC. Now the UFC's got 3 champions that are Mexican, which is just awesome. I'll never forget that pick of Adesanya, Usman, and Francis when they all had their belts. And they were saying, the 3 African champions. Well, now us Mexicans got 3 champions as well. So, I mean, that's just such a great feeling, man, just to see that. And also, too, just to see knowing the humble beginnings that all these fighters come from, when they come from Africa or from Mexico or any third world country, man. You love to see them be champions because you definitely know, you do know what they went through to get there, man. And it is not just a financial thing. It isn't just a food thing. Poverty's for real, man. And to see, these third world country people, races win it, it's just awesome. It's just awesome because that money just changes their life and their family's life generationally. And it's just awesome to see, man. It really is. So Viva Mexico for real, man. Super proud of the Raza for just, you shouldn't have let us in, bro. You shouldn't have let us in, man. Now you let us in. Now we're going to bust that door down. And, there's going to be a lot more Mexican champions. Though, mark my words, a lot more. That's just what we know. That's all we've known is just work hard, work your ass off. Love your parents, love your siblings, and dominate. Dominate, that heart of a warrior. That's the one thing that every Mexican has, is the heart of a warrior. We have that warrior spirit, whether you are Aztec or Mayan, it's in you, and it will always be within you, and we will never be scared. We will never back down. We'll always stand up, and we always stand up for what's right in our family. That's just how we were raised. And obviously we all do it under God, our Savior, the Most High. But yeah, that's definitely what's been going on in the sports world. So glad to get back on here and talk about it. Definitely we'll be talking more about, because like I said, there's going to be a lot more cuts in the NFL. Playoffs are starting to get really, really intense. The playoff push in the NBA. We got the draft coming up, so it's going to be a real good time here the next couple months for sports. Really excited to see what's gonna go on, and I'm just so excited to have you guys all here and to get after it again this week. Like I said, it's another week to get better, another week to work on whatever you want to work on or fix whatever you need to fix. It's alright to push things off to the side or for a moment. Just don't keep it there. Don't get complacent with that. Remember to get back on that horse and keep riding, keep going, because there is people that you are inspiring and that are watching you, and that's who we do it for. That's all we do it for, man. We do it for the love of our people, the love of the human race, the love for God. We do it for all of them. I love every single one of you guys, and I definitely will catch every single one of you guys on the next one. And every single one of you guys, keep having a great week, okay? I love all you guys.
There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, no. There's no time to waste, no time to waste, no time to waste, so you better do the damn thing right. You only got one life.